Very much. We are here today to deliberate and adopt the Constitution and the bylaws as revised. And this is extraordinary General Assembly. We are expected to achieve a milestone in as much as the body of rules and regulations that govern Macuda are concerned. We are departing from an old system of law that is not linked to constitution, the global context, and the specificities of the various zones in which members of Macuda they live. And so we try to capture those specificities into this new bylaws that constitution that we want to draft today, we want to adopt today. So we think that after this meeting, we will have a body of rules validated, which will be workable not only in Bamenda, Cameroon, and also in diaspora.
All the fantasies I Mankon, checking up vital information about Mankon, like in terms of music. The development that have taken place in 1866. The contact that in Mankon, all the forms that are played in Mankon, the Mankon Tory sites, cultural heritage sites.
We are ready to start. So much on the day, Sinamela the day, Jesus, to attend the for Yeshinemo. Macuda, Mankon, home branch. Donc, ne tuo Macuda umbi bete de ga mamega azompeze bete azi taku ko ngene ba mule wat ndizemwe de mettre maza bugna de menen la mo combat the prayer, have a prayer followed by the singing of the national anthem and the Mankon anthem, and we'll have a word of welcome from the home branch president, and then the general president of Macuda is going to have a speech that will be read for us by the president. Macuda, that is the General Executive Council of Macuda, and that will be done by the Vice General President. So Macuda boya ko aten uzambi ko aten anilo mtene nge kwata bugen aje ete fomu boya gele ando my 15 bugen kun mutin bugen jenge abuzumati iwo tang chike tete zaga ate teto Macuda boya bugela ndo tete fute bondange Macuda boya azumati za abene 3,000 square meters. There be 6 plots, tap will be 500 square meters. Because we want to 13 together. In Peter Bringa, because you should teach Mankon and to Busonga Betaquata, a chair, and Burzunga Tibaquata, a chair, and Zunga Bayandi Quata, a chair, Bugata Pitanga Mankon Quata, I can see Lagene. So the Nifu that the Makunti Nifuna Mele. So tap change these are quite in the bone because on that come on to Bongo, but Babitina Wanga, I'm a bongo manco, but more Abby, but the footing because Zuma Zala Tangbonda and whatever. Baby, Zuma bomb down, it be 2 words in 1 chair and Mutazak in Temla in the lane. So good footing put at the book of Gabana, Tana, Abiga, Zoom, Tatimo, Macomo, Babitina Boyati on Buzon Tineti. And can we make a Sarah Mankon, but more only Titimo, Duala, the Momon Dumala, the Momoton, and Zolti Tatimo. It's happening check. So Madula, the Temple of Babitina Gana. But I said, if they like to be so, we are Kapila. We could change up 20 years ago. Days are the Funimodico creating gay, but finity 1.5 million, 2 million. Titon, much a good and Macuda land, it is some matter 22 million and 500 square meters. It's so land that the value of land can only appreciate, you will not appreciate. So that the Tinela organizations up in the Zoom. Maybe the Shinti like young Mankon, it will be the Gimie, but I am they can do the engineer. Instead of the chickens, we did that more. I did that anyway. Set la Tagalog to the Bezo, Mankon, to a group, Chiki, Mankon, to individuals, Chiki, Equier. That said, because what is it's evil to again, like I said, in the what you work with them from 2 months ago, what was on at and you 1.6 million to Titong at the end 2 million. But Macuda tap and credit union, if anyone is here, Macuda at Isaboya. Being a tap and credit union seems to have been part of the sponsorship of the walk around that place. In next year, at Isaboya, about 30 plus plots. And they're selling a plot for 3.5 million. So, being viable, Jose, I will give the captain, Zan, because we take them to Macuda, Macuda, Timela, and my share, and then design. That said, Mama, so because someone well, I want something to use a form of payment, right? So, tell Macuda, which is double decision, what to design and comes out to check. So, in sorting capital. We needed close to 10 million, and to and we're able to raise from within, however, close to 5 million. Double loan, I need 5 million, and creating a Dumatiza. But more than the moving and then the moving a bit to Bombay, because she didn't think in the capital, we're double loan 5 million, that they needed to get. La Bognatine be visionary, and saying that the Bezo, it's a Bay. So we took that risk. Because to loan 1 year almost 2 million, actually 2 million. And to loan the one and Bugichi, Timberland, the Marshalla, the Mabichi, and Jumadila, what we negotiate for you was Jumadila, instead of because they were selling that land to us for 1.5 and the land has gone up, we get a fee 1.6 with 100,000 francs on each plot. So successfully, we're going to 220, so that's how we're able to pay the 2 million. If we tell them that the land what it is, the land get a shit at Tiwa and at that price according is 2 million. So Oyen what is that? But make it get a bit of 100,000. Like who knows what is that? Whether it's 20, 50,000, we appreciate. Thanks to the Lord comes and captures that is our call Teme Miyaka. in the same vein as I'm learning window in Jimaga, I think I'm racing captains. I'm sort of a bazaar is that match. So we're getting a raffle ticket. Tap with section Macuda boy so we call and get the raffle ticket, but we so we make it somewhere support us. That we so we get raffle ticket, but also raffle ticket. Why? Bring us raffle ticket that which is a raffle ticket. Why? It's in television, it's in so it's in spring can, it's in it's so we go take a raffle ticket. One parent tangible. I'm sorry, someone didn't take it tangible guy. La brigade me at almost more of a ticket where than part of the Abri captain was at Talombe and Vitaly, no good being a boy. I actually chairman Dawa, who somewhere
là, le champion, le nom du café de Chine, d'abord, pour que y'en a bien dans le feu, pour qu'il gère, le feu, mon entier, donc pour la table, le nom est bon de, oh, le feu, moi, t'as pas de pas qu'il y ait des gars dans la table. Les gars, tu vas pas comme un fond tout le Sénégal. I'm a pain up, I'm a little busy après. Oh, t'as oublié là. Quand tu te prends ma comme on, pas de forme, pas de sang, tu es mort, ton noir. Tu mets les beaux os dans la beauté, à part forme vrai. Goulon, goulon. On voit que ça va pas venir être là. On m'a abonné sur le à tout le monde. Et que les gens attendent. Nous avons appris qu'on est là. Nous étions bien à la fois. On m'a quoi de bon. Nous avons appris faire là. Que peut me quitter de l'autre. À part nous de Kéodé. À quoi quitter de l'autre. À quoi à besoin de la. À maintenant. D'abord.
Let's build strong institutions and not strong people. So, remember Macuda home branch, I don't check the shape, waiting and what is in Zambia, but I'm not talking about Bentland, development, more politics. I mean, which people get a tailor. And what they listen, I think be and be development. As I'm a man, home branch,
to this General Assembly, attending in person and virtually the Constitutional Review Committee, all other protocol duties observed. On behalf of and in the name of the General Executive Council, I welcome you all to this very important occasion in the life of our dear Mankon Cultural and Development Association, Macuda. Today is a special day. Special because we are here to deliberate and adopt a revised constitution and revised bylaws of Macuda. Texts that were elaborated following an inclusive approach through the aid of new information and communication technology in order to arrive at a broad consensus on the organization and functioning of Macuda. This General Assembly is holding within an year, and this is necessitated by the urgency to adopt the draft constitution, the draft revised constitution, and draft revised bylaws of the Mankon Cultural and Development Association. This constitution is drafted against the backdrop of a constantly evolving society, thus requiring constant adaptations to accommodate this evolution. The spirit of the human and material resources together for the socio-cultural and economic development of their village and fandom. This requires coordination and harness so that the efforts put in can bring meaningful, visible, and palpable development in Mankon, which is a broadly shared aspiration among Mankon sons and daughters across the globe. These revised constitutional bylaws offered give all Mankon sons and daughters at home and abroad a chance to table suggestions that will militate for a more unified and united Macuda along the path to the achievement of our shared objective of developing Mankon. And this is in straight line with the motto of Macuda, which is unity, action, development.
The set of rules that apply hitherto, and this revised text obviously sets the pace for improved path.
We trying to go for a to Macuda. We come to Mankon. We won't talk. Mankon. We for the government comes on the fortress aside. Before the first Mankon. I'm for about the Chinese over I'm going for Mankon deep to Mankon. Mankon and the phone. Move Mankon to my great one. Bang Namaki. Aku nyuruh berada di tengah. Bermugat saya mana kebetulan sebetul mana ada. Anda ni kena berasi doktor bersumber syurga bertahan. Izan dia berkena fikir jazaba. Angwa afo bertahan. Asal aku nak anda berkena lagi itu. Tang anu forma mungkin dia. Awam di kuina India magna anya jage Fulamba angwa afo baba bobende fulguni shongan agembe be fulam krikan di zona ti fulam a jage bekentu Chantu ndi mo mo borwe tam no seuk mo mo numéro sangalé keneten ndingle lele numéro ba de bitetu mo zangal Mankon mugeni la ne ma tuam tu Mankon dan abgani Mankon mukui la mbo buga Mankon be azuma zga mbiti ku kam akan gutse bugun gutsi kana ndam wala mozu kan bugana sai mozu abgana chamtamo makono fono Mankonda indo isuma agi chamtamo ko ta so ba mazani anye kuma ba ma kwati ni ma chi te chamtamo ko be Macuda Mazi Macuda tanye kuma lam zi Macuda afu intonga atuwa Macuda Mr. Niba Sindile Bugger Macuda Aga abonga abi chamtunda Macuda sorti be fie Bek ñu so be fie betina lang fu ane ta'lu nakum aku ñogala le tunga bo fa ala kare bugna le tunga ga fa ambo bo ge nke be ferwa ba mbak nga kwa de zirma tuma za ba nga da ambo azan ba bo fa itum ye mo makuma azan ba bo tuna be abe zamba be ta na nyete ambo bo gna nga mo ko se ankara mo kongse karana ala kongna ango kongo mamani ndemte mamago ko ada zango chine bitte mamago amo kongse kara ko bete no man tuwa daga man tuwa adi ene ni gano ne bakay me ko mabe chen ka mo mangu mukui tala baptisme angwa afa betara alobe afa ajinga boge mwana bakay mwana ma kwatinga aku nyonga bagana lentu kentibiti bomba bagana mwana man katina fo mwana ajinga bezete bete mu ci le kwata do anu zaba karaton career orientation malam tuna Macuda abinda zama jomala tinwo ba jomala kinin chewa akuba aduwala Britain America abelam to bo makuma amankama amakuma ko fo at terbe temeto fam ntinko bekere be kanzamba utabu na yete ko na tite ambum ana kwataze nga Macuda azamba kan le fonti akwete Macuda kansila ngete anu fonufu wotiwu betiwu gode to zangare mo mo que fatwa bebe ke wutobo mo ko akamite de terboge ebe chiki zamba wapiye ne nuzamba ma chini sombo anye sana le abzenga Macuda jera akete daji ba amal lengelu mbe bu mu futa ba Macuda tino zaka bu muta Can you be put his head at the team burger and woman? Oh, ten Zamba. No fat level of sugar. But no more here. But can Allah be like Zamba be bunken again? Apa di Zamba no na duala. Nyum se be Zamba mo bunken gamna na di Yaoundé ko. Apa di Zamba no na Yaoundé nyum Zamba bunken na beberezera fu de Zamba abo faana na kwa de radio bi moko. Abi e ba United Arab Emirates abu kuyi. Bu mu futun Zamba Macuda tinu abu zenga bi bem bobo Jesco abu fa'in takbo ama be ti ko banu ba be ngote zero ba tinu na tinu fo ba be be Zamba bo be ke ngote kwam tinu chela along zero ba tsana abu kunti ndana tanga mo chebe la to make abu te juti ti umba abu mo bonku igama no bo no na kwiye amu mako kato beti cheye mo bu wene ba kwiye ku mako la mako mi bila bo mako kwi bon mon compris compris là que le table pour mon politique queen zazen qui coube ni fitou peut-être zévé de queen année dans mon pour nenda bon mon compris te ba wani fitou Macuda tine afaza wiyem mon ils ont tenté à faire MTC. Bah, à Timédie, à Sac-Mancon, le carrière Fazachi administratif. Mais il y a des gens qui ont été Mancon, non gagné. Là, le gars parle de milieu pour aller. Chitsa parlo ben ko wufuna mon dubbe ba tini gana bi yenda na jiye mon sugo abugam intel mushi de zan ko koro zamba bi yene changala na afoni mano ana kelu e be tishi la mon tikri ndika ke chega ne saka pepa lan ndika za fo lan tembo bëgg na mel leen sala be basé amu ci ma loxo ci be zé ñu mën dem ci ñu indi les réseaux ci tawa mo ko abe zé ko 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 ma ci na mo ma ko na fo il faut garder ko fu ci amala ana mo
Latin Zua, or the Abbey Nunga, Zanfortuna, Aguna, Gana Achemo for Bundu, Sunto. Grant an interview to give a summary of the message he has passed across. There's no need for me to start doing a summary to take most of our time. We will now invite
necessary that the people should have guiding rules so that they can govern themselves properly. So the Mankon Cultural and Development Association thought it wise to revise their constitution so that they can face the daily realities and to be able to manage their affairs. So it's a very laudable initiative, so I've come to encourage them that they should have fruitful deliberations.
And what developmental projects do you think they should be engaging in the village within this period?
Well, Mankon is a village found in the Bamenda Metropole, and there is so much we have in Mankon in terms of infrastructural development, in terms of human capacity development, and there's quite a lot. So let my people reflect. I have my own ideas, so I'm waiting on them to reflect and present their thoughts about the development of Mankon, so that I can now look at it and see how we can foster the development of Mankon. You're welcome. Donc, je suis très très content que les enfants, les sortants de Mankon ont décidé de penser le développement de Mankon. Donc, ils sont assemblés ici depuis hier. La plupart de ces gens sont venus des États-Unis, d'Europe, pour venir discuter du développement de Mankon. Donc, je suis très très content qu'ils sont ici.
Quel conseil vous leur donnez par rapport à cet événement de développement de Mankon? Quel endroit que tu veux qu'ils se focalisent pendant qu'ils se concertent pour faire des actions concrètes à Mankon?
Bon, Mankon se trouve dans l'arrondissement de Bamenda et il y a beaucoup qu'on attend du gouvernement pour développer Mankon, et les gens de Mankon sont très très fiers d'être Mankon pour développer leur village. Donc il y a beaucoup pour ces gens pour venir à l'aide de leur village à travers le développement routier, pour donner l'eau potable pour leur peuple, et pour et surtout le développement des enfants de Mankon. Donc ils sont là, tout ça c'est sur leur table, ils vont discuter tout ça et voir leurs moyens pour voir s'ils peuvent réaliser ce projet. Et bref, le premier projet qu'ils font ici, c'est pour discuter la constitution de l'association. Donc, je suis venu seulement pour les encourager, pour attendre la sortie de leur réunion. Le beau Mankon, le beau Mankon, c'est le quoi tu as le Mankon, le Mankon, le singer, le quoi tu as le Mankon, le Mankon, ensemble nous avons quoi tu as le Mankon, le LinkedIn tu as le bem na tere ite leng tere zanga bo mo fa mo bo bom kisinga wenda abe lum za shine ben sa mbin fu ge bombe Manko babtina Macuda abu mo fu bi mintu be kwati nga be ci bom ka aten tong bo Manko me chebe bo no fu a South Africa, a Ghana, a United Arab Emirates, a Japan, a Britain, a Germany, and a water to Mamazan, Zanga, the Bunting, beating down water, Zenamba, again, and Mama Cantinga, a Lentin, water, Macuda, Bumisuna, a Bumbo Bimlin Zanga, the Burger 2, Bucking a burger, the 2 Tiba, it's our time. Down the cheap burgers and managing a quarter. Oh, and I know that she didn't buy my hands and go to the scene.
What happened? I don't want to go for cheap advice just.
Okay. So, zaman ni kau dalam di kita okey dia kena mafalah. Amat di negara berikut sini Zerang mbak ben tinggal barat cedek kamu mohon juga ber, amun aku juga barat. Bukan ada kita lagi juga bisnet nama dah afrak aku mohon juga, aku mohon juga. Azama bi yakun ni la mga mo do heli awre long na faje abdina nga'am na nga'am na zomon wa zam na tin zerlan zamba awre dar na faje le bi mo heli
abdina yish ne azam na kuna na an kan ka du Macuda la negana azam chitu magana la magana tikane be magana zamba anyen tiga kuna kaka tini kuna kaka mka kuni za ati yula che kuna kaka tini kuna kaka 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 nyambi na moshi so makutumbo anyega apa mission kaka magamu na kaka magete permission all right manabe ya kalu oh, yeah, okay. So pagkama bine amo foko manko ne kumbala aba sine gani Dr. Jexco ne atoji president for the entire committee Dr. branch president for delegates Babiyene and Dr. Macuda to page and make comments. The second one is that we do a word after word reading. So can we have another thought?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Lontanga, okay, salam waktu dan salam branches. In the term of branch la ben waka ko mo na tiwo bi ha tom mo na tiwo de ben ko branch wa ko na ko fa azena ko to mo na shi tiwo ba ta mo zamba so na mo ba ka to mo na la ha ga ma to mo benge bob ko na be bi lo ko zamba lo ko la mo ko be mo bi fo ko na fa azena ba ka ti am ko fo ti an mo zamba nous avons so abdina fa good faith kap bin da te ni mon tiere so kap fa da bin da zam ko fa a jam ko mo ni shi na bi na bëgg ko magama lo da sa na lo ko ta ko jo awal so na ko ko ka constitution mo be static ci ko te ko grâce à ce que nous sommes là avec le loc comme tendé na miti de adi que que jongo ko su da ci ko te di mata magami ya mo.
Thank you very much. There's another comment? Yes, sir. Yes, madam. We can be made no more.
Tumba atwa taka futini la to zgina de tsawa anu branches awa anu branch le tongna anwa ne zen zonga zamba anu tsakanin kun tsaka kwata according to the branches so malong kwata gina mo singala ba amleti kwata tsa be bange page by page abenga maybe kwata tsa ma tine she fa ala ka blende mo abaku be mo me betuna ngando ya
kan takam mesona baby ngi korinda korinda shi ke ga kenen doga azing ga nyongdi gi na tongonda abu tong songa ga ani ga abi songa za bom ate bonga bugna fugana bo songa inde wamba be ba chinga ngla be bugna ga doga page ba page mo songa inde wamba ba ngla bugna logo fusakna ye in tonga amu tuma zo abu songa ga ne bem de ga te benti
bon so ku be pemte mo ba pemte na no da ba so mo da.
All right, me aka.
Ado ta ko shi tinane bemne. Wa tu kuma ta ba ni ba ba. Bi tong ta wa ji de di ta ba za bi guna be. Bi ke guna ke chi sa. So be guna chi ta ma ta ka. Ni be gunda mo so bi e ta ni wa ni la. Na ze la ka. Guna nga ka to ma da na. Music ta ma ka to. Guna le be be ni go. Ko be ni ma ta ni be ti a.
Okay, me aka. There's another hand that's behind.
Mathematical the nagamna tu ate kasuk naga abag naga page by page. Bugin saga menda bugin length. Bugin shi bu pages ba bugin chinin tina mo de chisa. So me buku agi page wa bo chi wa length ga no so za ko chine so bi chisla bi length ze ga bu se length mo oji ti ta ko so de bi te no za na bi te ta bugin chi wa me ya.
All right, me aka. Against the president.
Want to measure pay on back chin and was the air on firework. I want to meet web the pitch mawa, a cool, or let no zone zone and a general file. Chin and get they up law into account. Chin knows that book to or quit to put a link at the top.
All right. Therefore, so.
Okay, not a contribution on a revision, but an appeal for general conscience. The Mamoti Ramba Abum released. So, it's on 2 o'clock. So, Pretty Ramla, Kumwatanga, and Moho, Ulumpina, Nagazori, whole night and travel. They are still here. Let us try to support. According to the formal program, would have been done with this. We are not yet done. We are not giving blames. We are putting the cards on the table to see what we have as resource. Time as resource is what we have. So when we are working, let us take that into consideration. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. From all the comments from the floor, duly listened to, I'm going to close this talk. We are going to use the format proposed earlier by me and this team, and the team that worked together in the night. So we had inputs from other branches that were in that meeting. So please permit us move forward. We're going to start that way. Let Papa add the word to you, please.
Inserted into the articles that we find page by page. So we are suggesting that as we go page by page, pay attention to some of the things that are highlighted, that are inserted after the draft was sent out. Those are responses from the branches. We are one.
All right. So I want to thank you all for understanding, and please, together we are stronger. Let us move forward. Again, look at the page where you have a concern. The concerns that you sent, we took time and addressed. I would like you to note so. And particularly comments that came from many branches, right, about the same point, we just did not waive it at all. Even those that came from single branches, we still paid attention. Like the president said, at no point in time were we biased. This work is for Macuda, is for Mankon, and that is it. There's nothing special and specific for any one of us to benefit. So please, thank you so much for understanding. So we are going to start. I'll start with page 1. To look at the description for what the emblem will be that was going to be in Article 3, so that we all validate it and when we'll have that emblem before we ever share that document. So that's the first comment I want to make, that you don't have the emblem there, but you're going to see the description that we made. Maybe you have something else to contribute towards it, so that when we do it, it will be final. Thank you. So, permit me sit, and then we will move forward. Let us look at page 1. We are on the draft constitution. Page 1. Anything on the preamble that should not be there. there or that is absent? Anything you suggested that we have not considered? Yes, Papa. And then after him will be, okay, for example, all right, thank you.
Thank you, madam.
No, after you, sir.
Thank you, madam. The first observation is, I see a Macuda General Constitution. It have just been Macuda Constitution.
Okay. We should just have it Macuda Constitution, right?
Constitution, yes.
Are we good with so?
Yeah.
We agree to. Thank you. I think we considered that before.
It has to be restructured. Because the first case, who are we, what are we doing, and why? Those are the key questions that we answer when we write the preamble of the Constitution. Look at the preamble. So there is a proposal which I made, that's page 1 of the Constitution, please. So with regard to that, I try to restructure it in a particular way. No, it is not, I'm not saying it is correct, but it's just a suggestion which I made. I did not know if I should read it. Thank you. So, this is my proposal. I said, we, the people of Mankon, acknowledging our ancestors and the supremacy of the Almighty God of all creation, proud of our cultural heritage, and determined to live in peace and united as a broom, respectful of the folkways and mores of our land, which is our heritage, and determined to sustain it for the benefit of the future generations, committed to conserve our natural resources, maintain ecological balance, and mitigate the impact of climate change, recognizing the aspirations of our nation for government based on essential values of human rights, equity, freedom, democracy, social justice, and the rule of law, ordain and establish this constitution to ourselves and to our future generation. That is what I propose. Because I saw the one that we wrote here, big more of the type that we have for bylaws. The preamble that we have here is more of the type that we have for bylaws. It is not actually meeting up with the definition of what a preamble is actually supposed to be. Thank you very much.
What I said there, and I also thought that in the preamble we should define Macuda. We shouldn't just inform Macuda. Because the preamble is what that guides our actions. So to me, I did this proposal that if we are defining Macuda, we say Mankon. What do you mean by Mankon? That is to develop patriotism within the Mankon people, loyalty, willingness to sacrifice for the motherland. That should be Mankon. When we have cultural, means everything to know about our mother tongue, our way of understanding and doing things. That is our identity. I saw it somewhere there. Because unless we are able to identify ourselves, can you even imagine that we are saying now using with the foreign language? Okay. Then development now will be improving on the two above. That is patriotism and cultural, while fine-tuning it to our present situation or generation. And lastly, association. This association now will be fueled by the three above. Because if the three above are absent, they will not be able to come together. You see, when we talk about development without having patriots, without having people who can do everything for the motherland, it will be impossible. People will not be able to come together. So I think that by defining that, we'll be able to see, get our vision, our clear vision. clear vision.
All right, thank you very much. Constitution. You want that constitution to be a document that can be quickly read. And we already had an issue about the length of the document, even from the jurist. We were once very seriously that we need to trim it. So we are working with some of them with that kind of guide. One and two. One of the things that you have said are actually in this preamble and in this constitution, and maybe not introduced at the beginning as you're suggesting. Permit me say that we are not inventing the wheel, and if almost not all constitutions that we have seen will start the constitution with this references that tell you about mindful of this, mindful of that. We do not start by telling who we are first. When you do that, when you recognize all those authorities that give us the right to now have a constitution, then we then tell who we are. And that is why, if you look at page 2 tells you that we captured all what you have said in this phrase, and some of the things that you have said we are going to find them in the constitution. It says, we, the sons and daughters of Mankon, residing in and out of the cosmopolitan kingdom of Mankon, do hereby solemnly decide to form an association known as Mankon Cultural and Development Association, with the acronym Macuda, for the purpose of promoting the socio-cultural and economic development of the kingdom. So please permit us take that. And then further in, and I'll be addressing Baba Kobu's concern alongside these other ones raised by Professor Mbue, that in chapter 1 on page 2, we now talk deeply about name of the association, the headquarters of the association, who should be a member, or we'll talk about emblem, motto, vision, mission, and in chapter 2 we talk about membership, who qualifies to be a member. So in all of that, the idea of identity and more are embedded in it. So thank you very much. Again, I'll be asking, I would not mind having your proposal, but I thought I saw that before. You said that through Douala, right? Yes, we saw that before. So the idea is, one, shorten this constitution. Otherwise, we notice the preamble was giving us 6 pages. That's what happened, so we needed to cut down. But facts, points advanced, taken in all good faith, embedded. Thank you. Any other? Yes, sir. In the emblem when it is done. But maybe it's an opportunity for us to find out if you had an idea of what those colors should be. Yes, sir.
Yes, well, I think that we are talking about the one.
It was an olive leaf. It's not a tree. So it's a leaf. And olive stands for peace. Just like we're going to have the peace plant. The olive is also an anointing. But then if we have a worry with it, then let us know. We take the peace plant. Yes, what else? If I may ask, and I still don't understand, I would like us to tell me, yes, we have the peace plans. What is the problem with having the olive leaf? That's what I would like to know. Yes.
I think we're talking about Mankon. I want to say here that there's a flaw even from the way the educational system Africa has been construed. Why did you tell me that A sounded apple when I don't see apples around? That's exactly the same problem.
Okay.
Please, I will go for that. Thank you.
All right. I like that. Thank you so much. So we can take off, we'll take off the olive. Okay. I'm going to my sister this way, whose comments, I think the word is normally headquarters. Is not headquarter. The standard English for it is headquarters, so we'll maintain it that way. The other thing is about what should come first and what should come later. That's my understanding of the suggestions that you need. That we should talk about gender provision and then before we go to chapter 1, right? Yes. We have done chapter 1 and we have covered it as general provisions and everything. Whether that general provision includes what this headquarter is, what the vision and emblem are, all of them are general provisions of this constitution. The general provision is not defined anywhere by any law that in general provision you must have this, that. As per this constitution, we choose to have it like this, and I dare say that the jurists to whom we gave, who studied this, think that it's okay and permit us go with it. Thank you. Was there some other thing that I did not hear or see? Did there omit any? Did there omit something? Yes, for the objectives. Yes, madam. Raise your voice, I'll hear you.
No. Yeah. Please, ma'am, you have just made reference to the jurists. I'm one of them here present. Please, Mike, you didn't understand what my point. I said that if we look at it very well, we've detailed in the general provisions here, as the heading is properly couched. We have the name, the headquarters, the motto, and the emblem. But now, treating the items in terms of articles, we have treated the mission, the vision, and the objectives, which the heading does not carry. So if we want to maintain it that way, we should bring on board the vision, mission, and objectives. Okay. All right. Furthermore, I was trying to propose that the vision, mission, and objectives should not be in article form, for clarity's sake. Now, if we go to handle our chapter 1, we should treat the name, the headquarters. When you pick a document, just the way you look at it, it gives you a way where you are going to understand it more better. But when we just drawing it in this kind of form, it brings a lot of confusion. Then the problem with the first sentence.
Let me go with you. Don't go too fast so that I understand you. When you say that we should not give it in article, what should it be?
We just put it out clear. The first section, we just highlight vision. It is not in article form.
Alright. I permit me to say that we're going to go with the article. Why am I saying so? It's easier for referencing. When I ask you to pick this document, I'll say check article 2 for mission and for station. So for clarity, we'll go that way. Yes.
Okay, that's okay. Now I go back to the first statement of this, our page 2. I earlier said I have a problem with quarter heads, because to me...
I agree with you. We said yes. I have changed it to quarter councils. I appreciated that. Thank you so much for your inputs. Yes. Are we all in this meeting? Yes, Dengwa.
On this chapter 1,
yes.
I think that I feel that there's an omission, because when we are talking about vision, mission, I think we should add values. How do we achieve our mission and our vision? There should be a set of core values that we have committed that we should include. How do we achieve our mission, our vision? There should be a set of core values that go with it. And secondly, about the mission, vision, and values. When we are talking about that, mission comes first, then vision follows before value. That's the correct order of
stamina. I just want to cue up when he's talking about the vision and the mission. Obviously, let's not argue about which one should come first, but we should look at what the vision should be. To say a vision, is that what a vision Mankon to be non-political? We should look at the Mankon in its developed form, not a Mankon that is non-partisan. That is not our vision. So I think that this vision, we need to rehearse this vision. And I think there are experts in this house development gurus who can craft good vision. And sometimes a vision, a mission, is in a summary form, some kind of way that the vision will be achieved. This is how a vision and a mission is crafted for a development institution. Thank you.
Much appreciated. I think you make me see that point. The content of vision. Yes, it should be how you foresee Macuda to be in 20, 30 years down the line. What is the development agenda? We'll be asking, while we talk about the development gurus in the house, I'll be asking them more window by the end of this, while you sit there, draft what you think that we should go there and give it our input here and we'll read it before we leave. Thank you so much. That should go safe for the mission. The reason why we missed you at the meeting of last night, if you were there, you probably would have helped. But I share what the wahala you had yesterday. Okay, much appreciated.
Hello, we are welcoming all these positive contributions. But I want to say, as far as vision, missions are concerned, there are two schools of thought. You start with mission and you end with objective. Not start with vision and ends with objective. That theory apart. I want to say that when you look at what is Article 5 as vision, I will go with you very comfortably if we are talking about the Mankon Constitution. But we are talking about an association in Mankon that deals towards development in Mankon. What we are telling you will go very well with the Mankon Constitution and cause no problem. But as an association, the focus on association and what it does in this territorial unit called Mankon. So I beg to tell you that we should not talk about it as Mankon, but as what Macuda is saying to the Mankon. Now that's because let us read that statement nearly after the fact that we are not apolitical. The same, what goes on that also explains where we are going to. And that is coming from observations on the ground. But I think we say we want to be global. Why we should want global here?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So when we look at Article 5, I want to understand, can a non-Mankon person be a member of Macuda?
What is your article number?
Article 9, sub 5.5.
Article 9 sub 5.
Maybe I don't understand.
Okay, Article 9 sub 5. Do you have a concern with it? Just tell us what is the concern.
The English there, except if I don't understand, gives me an understanding that a non-Mankon can be a member of Macuda. Yeah. Am I right? Yeah. Is that okay with us? Oh no, I'm fine if that is the idea and we all abide to that.
What do you think?
I wouldn't have thought that a non-Mankon should become a member of Macuda.
Why?
Just because it is Macuda, Mankon Cultural and Development Association.
Noted. Yes, sir.
Chair Walters of Tuwala, just to clarify with our sister, if you are from Benin, a woman, and you get married to me, you become a Mankon.
Okay, that is not the concern. Hello?
Not the concern.
Thank you. I would like us to read this article so that we this particular article, yes, so we can all understand. We all have differences over that matter. We can come to a consensus, okay? Let me read it out. Just wait, please. Everybody should go to Article 9. That's page 3. Membership. Membership shall be opened to the following. 1. All sons and daughters of Mankon of at least 18 years old. Are we good with that? 2. Anyone at birth who has at least one or both parents from Mankon. Are we good with that? 3, anyone married to a spouse of Mankon descent. Are we good with that? 4, anyone covered by 1, 2, and 3, meaning you are son and daughter, you're either married to a spouse or one of your parents is. So if you're covered by 1, 2, and 3, that does not automatically make you a Macuda member. What will eventually make you a Macuda member is the fact that you also adhere to the provisions of this constitution. Correct? Yes. Number 5. That's where the bone of contention is. It says, anyone not covered by Article 1, 2, 3, and even 4 above, no, particularly 3, who adheres to and abides by the Macuda Constitution and pays the dues specified in the bylaws. Meaning, we have somebody from Ngelemenduka who has come and is staying, no, let me call the name. I'm a Douala man. I've come here and I'm staying in Tanga. I've stayed there for as long as whatever. And I'm contributing to development in Tanga, right? Is it okay for me to be a member of Macuda?
Sure. Yes.
So it's okay that if I come, I can join, I can be a member of Macuda, whether or not I'm born or not, or have Mankon affiliations. My sister's concern is that if you are not one of the 3 above, I'm not born Mankon, my parents are not, I'm not married to one, then I should not be a member of Macuda, the Mankon Cultural and Development Association. Is there anything else you think they can be if they don't belong to Macuda when they're contributing to development? Yes. Yes, let her finish.
Somebody can, because you have added some specifications. Somebody has lived for long in Mankon.
The person has not even lived. Mankon is doing that.
Yeah, because if we have a case like that and the person becomes adopted, which means that there could be a procedure for adopting somebody to become one of us, then that person can become a member of Macuda. But somebody just walks in and is just interested in what we are doing and pays his dues to become a Mankon. I'm afraid we may have problems in the future because such a person tomorrow will want to say he's becoming president of Macuda and will start thinking we have had such problems in our company and I bet you it's not easy to handle.
From experience, thank you. Yes,
I'm Chief Felix Ngwamachon from Macuda Douala. I think that everybody living in Mankon land can adhere to Macuda and become a member, but we should think of a way of limiting their powers inside Macuda. Because Mankon people can think better about their place more than strangers. But every development done in Mankon will be enjoyed by those strangers too. So they have to adhere and be contributing actively in everything we are doing. I think so.
Alright, thank you. May I ask a question? You live in Douala, okay? You contribute to the development of your community.
Absolutely.
Are you a member of the Basa community?
I'm not a member. But they do not have control over me. If I contribute, I contribute. They cannot have any hand over me.
They don't have.
They're not able to track me down. They don't know my name. They don't know me. I give it as free will, but not as obligation. But if you want development, it should be an obligation for everybody living in the area.
Good. All right. Yes, sir.
I think I want to say that let's not be too liberal. I know we are a cosmopolitan village or whatever we put it, but I want to say that we have to restrict those on number 4. We have to restrict them, especially number 5, if I'm not mistaken. The reason is that we have to restrict them because the genuine person who can take decisions as to real development and to real culture. If you learn culture, you can't really know culture. If you come from a culture, you know culture. I want to think that we have to limit them as to leadership. Even if we must agree them, let's cut them off from that level. Because that can be very dangerous for us.
All right. Thank you. There was a hand that way. Yes.
Chairperson from Boya. I think I'm completely against the fact that people from other villages can join the Macuda association for one reason. Once, like for example, us in Boya, once you're a member, you are obliged to pay your budget so that you are counted a full member. And once you are a full member of that association, you can take up any post so long as you can do it. So when we start bringing in people and we want to start meeting them, it is better we don't do it at all. I don't see any particular thing that we feel that we can gain from an outsider that the Mankon man cannot do for himself. Or if we want to bring them in, we can bring them in like partners or something else. We can maybe look for another name but not members. My humble suggestion.
Much well received. Yes, still for Boya.
I think when we are talking about this, we should know that we are talking about people resident in Mankon, not at the branch level. Because somebody who has built his house, lived in Mankon, like the Mankon culture, there is some people even speaking the language even more than some of us here. That means that is a Mankon man. You cannot say that. All of us here, when you look at all the families here, they must have migrated from one place to the other. They were not all born here, but they are Mankon people. My only worry about this article was that for the number one, it should be compulsory for every Bonafide Mankon to be okay. This is my reason, because when we talk about association, there is freedom of association, and if we go for that until you register, you are not a member. You cannot also impose the rule of the association on somebody who has not identified himself as a member. But if we make membership compulsory for any Bonafide Mankon child, if it wants to.
Okay, thank you. I will give space for maximum 2 more contributions. Yes?
All right. Okay, let me just give, I'm Dr. Chair, I'm resident here in Mankon. Let me just give an example of what happens in the quarters here in Mankon. You know, when there's a development project, everybody in the quarter contributes. Whether you are from Mankon or you are not from Mankon, you contribute. So for the opinion that we need to also indicate here in the Constitution that to have maybe these persons who are resident in Mankon also be members. Let's just have, just a clause there to say persons resident in Mankon. But then I also come back to my brother's point where he said we need to limit them to leadership in this constitution. So they should not be able to hold leadership positions in Macuda, but then they can be members because they are resident in Mankon, they are benefiting from Mankon, they have built in Mankon, so we should have them be part of Macuda, but we limit them when it comes to leadership. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll make it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about development here. There are some instruments, some enactments that have their inspiration either from a written source or from the oral source, who work very closely with the platform. And I think I drew some inspiration from it when it came to development and contributions and development in the fund. The fund said many times, all people who are resident in Mankon, who build Mankon, all the students, all who are resident in Mankon, they are his children. We used to meet in forum make contributions, and some of these people were even the triggered and development through NGOs and all that came to Mankon. We are talking about development. We are not talking about birth certificate. Without your father, it is your mother, and religion. We are talking about the general situation that comes with the welfare of the people. I think even those people who are resident in Mankon here, we should draw inspiration from that oral talk that came from our father. That all of us, that person resident of this land, and it's contributing positively towards the development of this land. It's a Mankon person. He said that it wasn't written anywhere, but I think we benefited, we saw the advantage of that type of philosophy, that type of wisdom. Let us not restrict ourselves here with birth certificates that show your birth certificate because you are from here. No. Development has no coloration. Development is a question of participation, and everybody, and if any person who shows good faith participation, even causes triggers his development in any form. And law-abiding Mankon here, I think that we should root it in our constitution. But talking development and culture here, please. Let us not go into niceties. Just pray.
Thank you. Let's hear the more though.
I just want to find out, and I think it's a practice that I've seen somewhere in other villages is working. What about the friends of Mankon? They can some people outstanding who do not even resident in Mankon, but they like Mankon to contribute in Mankon development. So I think in as much as we talk about the last one, we should talk about either those residents and friends of Mankon. I have seen in the other places, somebody can just like this association, not resident here and not one of Mankon, and also be contributing. What we need is the money to contribute. As we say, that we limit their leadership, we limit them not to get into leadership positions. I think if we go that way, it will be good.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
May I Dr. Mankon? Maybe in the work at the sister, be it Mazadi, the prominent Mazadi, Magama Butu Bobo Nation and take a Sabbath and Mufa, then take a campaign to come up as a Sheila again one time here. Bugin a law bits and I'm going to move back to you can't take a fire yet. Bugin a captain is a day with your partitions and I'm away. Bugin a big addition to Bugin a big John. Gameti, Bemeta wants not to be. So Zanzara, the Magatella was about you, beginning a lot of being a Benapa, Magamia.
All right, Mia, there was a hands up there.
Are you the party? What's your motto? The Baba, I tell you, I'm ready. I think you wish. What's the name? Ngam na la which put a Macuda. Good year at the it was one of the they had one the marriage from that they might check out almost open so the way it was out with a long wood. Good to that. They can put so when so I take it.
All right, we have heard these contributions. I want a few things made clear. One, that Macuda is called Mankon Cultural and Development Association, meaning that there is the aspect of development. And that people are resident in Mankon, they should contribute to that development. And the question I want to ask is, can they only contribute to that development by being members of Macuda? I don't know where I'm coming from. I live in Boya, and I contribute to development in my community on a day-to-day basis. And that doesn't compel you to be a member of Macuda. I just want to raise the point. Two,
It could be nice when people are members, if they feel that they are members, then they are also going to think that they have a sense of belonging and they can appropriate projects easily and therefore want to contribute. The other thing I want to raise is the fact that in this constitution, we have said that we have recognized the existence of chapters and branches and cells and quarter councils. Development is not at the level of quarters. True? Whatever the development project that we agree is going to be at some point in a quarter. When those people who are not Mankon people, if they belong to those quarters, they belong to the quarter meeting, right? Would they not contribute to development in there? The other thing I'm just concerned about is how liberal, I like the way he put it. In as much as we want to accommodate everybody, when you become too liberal, you should start thinking that tomorrow you create your association, you get everybody to come inside. Very soon, what will happen is we're going to vote. By the time the outsiders outnumber you and they take a decision, they will stop saying that this constitution that we're saying today about eligibility for who should stand as president or not, that clause will be changed when you now have more people, and they'll tell you that we'll vote that everybody can stand any position. Number 5, it is discriminatory to have people in your association and at the same time you tell them that they cannot stand positions, so they are just there to slave for you. Let them come and work and you enjoy and take positions and lead them or lord over them because they have come to stay in Mankon. All of that I just want us to have in mind while we take this decision as whether or not a person who does not belong to 1, 2, and 3 as per this constitution should be a member of Macuda. We are not stopping that person from being a member of a quarter meeting, because in that quarter you belong and development will reach leaders and eventually people in that community. My fear is about tomorrow when this same Mankon will be threatened. So while we have all of these in mind, I would like us to place a vote. I will count that vote now. 1, those who believe that Mankon Cultural and Development Association should be open for everybody to choose.
I don't think you can be a member of Macuda simply because what the Mankon man gains as a Mankon man, you cannot also be gained. For example, if you go right to the palace, when a stranger dies, what becomes of it? He has certain conditions that he must fulfill as a stranger. So, for example, if I'm now a Macuda member, I have my compound. Then now, what happened? Being a member of Macuda, will the palace exempt me from all these conditions? No. So a non-native can never be a member of Macuda. Thank you.
A non-native should not be, not that it shall never. You and I cannot make that decision now. We're making our proposals. Like I said, where the delegates that were designated to this meeting from the different branches are going to do this vote. If you are not designated to be a member, each group was supposed to send 10 plus 10 marks. And we're talking about those that came and we know, not the dance group, please. So I'm making a simple suggestion here. The result that we are getting is what will go into this constitution. We are taking this vote because this point has been very controversial, right? So let us call it away. So those who think that if you choose, you are resident and you choose to be a member of Macuda, we should admit you into Macuda because you'll be able to pay your dues and all that. Put your hands up, please. Those who think that if you are not a Mankon person by definition of 1, 2, and 3, being we don't always be here. I talk about the kitchen detail for year 5. Article number. Yes, so if you don't say, if you think that we should accept anybody who is not a born Mankon person, not married to a Mankon man, right? Or woman, and is or whose one parent is not Mankon. If we think that if you do not identify with any of those, if I'm a body man and I come and stay here and I want to join Macuda, if you think that that is okay, put up your hand. But if you're a body man and you think that we should put you into Macuda, that you don't only function at the local quarter head level, put up your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, done. Those who think that you should not be included in Macuda, but you can act in part of the development of Macuda, hands up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we are saying that we are going to remove Article 5. And people in the quarter should make every effort as quarter heads to include non-Mankon people in the development of their quarter. Bring them into quarter meetings, but not necessarily be a member of Macuda. Thank you.
Be a woman number. Hello. We are here to follow the majority. We are just following the outside of the movie. But I'm going to make a comment. Some of us, we might not be seeing far ahead. When you take, can a Mankon man cease to be a Mankon man? Can a Mankon man cease to be a Mankon man? Well, that's food for thought. Food for thought because somewhere in the constitution we try to protect and she raised the post of President General being limited to Mankon people. When you take up the nationality of another country, you cease to be a Cameroonian, you cease to be a Mankon man. Is that what you're saying? If that other person comes back and says, no, living in Mankon, you go for a double nationality, and I want to contribute as a member, chances are that we say no.
Okay, thank you very much. What we have said is that as a non-Mankon man, you will contribute to the development of Mankon in the quarter and through other associations and through other calls that will be made. But you must not necessarily be a member of Macuda for you to contribute. That said, we are moving on to very much, Mr. President. Yes, the understanding is that some people have Macuda cards who are not Mankon people. How that was done, we don't know, but I know that we are taking the decision. We are going to discuss. That can be discussed later. Please, we are moving forward. We are not going back on this. Is there anything on chapter 4? Is it about women's wing too? All right, so that's the point about women's wing. Women's wing. But on that point, all right? Let us hear one after the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let us be quick and don't repeat it.
I want to say that in other branches we already have women's wing.
Please.
I want to say that in other branches we already have women's wing. I don't wish that it should be compulsory because we also have canopy, which is on the other wings, which is owned by women. So I just feel that the women's wing should not be compulsory.
Okay, dear members, I want to plead with us, like it is often said, if you see what is good in your neighbor's house, it's good to copy it for the growth and for the success of this, our Mankon association. I think if you give floor to the groups or to the branches that have WW, they will testify and they will tell you that they are who they are because of the women's wing. I am speaking, I'm from Douala. I'm a man. If you look at what the women are doing in Macuda, Douala, if you hear Douala flag flying up, it's because we have a strong women force. And we know women are people that can easily tickle us the men and who act. Sometimes they even come and take it again from us and do the things with in the house. So please, it is a woman that makes a house a home. We need a home. And our mothers, they are capable of doing it and they have been doing it in other branches. So branches that have not done it, just copy it and maybe that is why you are not growing up. You will see for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another point. I feel aquatic. Anye asaka kwana ze bunung lomta ba ko mo de Macuda. Be kuna tini lomta ba ko no mo de Macuda ko be Mankon manjewa ko ina ta ko bo mi no ko chincha mo Macuda ko we man langa ti da tina Macuda ba ko fa shi no bom ko ti shi ne so amumme kama ze ga anu za ba bunung a bo za mo ga na bo mo ko be kama be de kwa za ne ya. All right.
I want to cue up from where the princess landed by asking a question. And my question is, if we already have the MASA, which is existing, why don't we revive MASA? But rather, in this constitution, Article 6 has given birth to Macuda. Why giving birth to Macuda when we have MASA? Why not revive MASA? Yeah, that is it. And please, can I comment on the form of this page 4? Your permission.
It's no time.
Page 4.
Hello, Madam Chair. I have got an observation, and I'm not very comfortable. At the rate at which we are going, I'm not comfortable. We are on page 4, and we still have the internal rules and regulations to cover. And if you look at the time, we will not make it, we will not catch up. I thought people are giving their different opinions now. When you reach a page,
Somebody looks at something, he jumps up, and then he pops in, and we start deliberating. I knew we were coming here, we have gathered all this through our branch delegates. My suggestion going forward is that, Madam Chair, with due respect, and with the fact that you have been so generous trying to please everybody or accept everybody, let us make progress. And I suggest as follows. Let the branch delegates or the presidents, when we reach a page and there is an issue that was brought up, let the branch president or the delegate highlight that issue, because some of these issues were even clarified at that branch level. And if they were not, then the branch delegate will articulate where the problem is and what you now rule. We cannot continue picking everybody's hand to answer no. When the branch has explained where the issue is, what was not resolved, then you as Madam Chair Lady, you now rule or you override or you put a vote, and at the end, we will make the progress. Please, I want to please, let us not talk in the Chinese parliament the way we are going. At 11 o'clock, we will not have covered even this Constitution. Madam Chair, I respectfully submit.
Observation much appreciated. Who was talking? All right. If I listened to something, it was about the women's wing. That's what we want to focus on, correct? I want to say that the idea of the women's wing came to us, and we thought that already, like somebody said there, we already have women associations in Macuda or in Mankon, like Nipi, and in the different branches where they belong, they are contributing. And so we thought that you can be part of any of this. But if we also think that we want a women's wing, interestingly, I'm hearing the men talk about the women's wing and not the women talking about the women's wing. Or is the men not talking about the women? I do not know. So, what I wanted to know, I've heard one thing he said, that the women's wing should be there because women will contribute to the development of Macuda. And I was wondering whether they will not contribute otherwise. Let us make a conclusion. Do we need a women's wing? All right. I will say that yes, I will say that let us do without the women's wing now, and then give ourselves the next few years, right? And we can work towards a women's wing if there is need, so that we can look at that over time and not just introduce one. When we're introducing the women's wing now, we need to define what they are supposed to be doing, correct? Yes,
my suggestion is that we should leave it at the discretion of branches to see if they have the need or not. It should not be at the national level, but at the branch level. If a branch sees the need, they keep their women's wing and their youth wing.
All right, are we good with that? Thank you very much. The other thing, much appreciated. So for the meantime, let us let the women's wing matter rest, and then we move forward. I would like to clarify the difference between MASA and the youth wing. MASA, as the name goes, Mankon Students Association. And we have people who are not students, right? And who need to belong. And we will also admit the fact that it is okay and a good idea that we say, we see in other places they are good, then we can copy. Having the youth get together, that youth wing is going to help us as a transition to Macuda General itself, where they are going to be mentored and they will mature into understanding Mankon issues, in understanding Macuda, so that they can eventually take position. I think what we should also be concerned about is what is the age. I'll quickly just add this, that the things that came from the group, from some of the branches, As for the document that we drafted, we gave them the age limit between the ages of 18 and 30. But we also saw that some organizations, some branches were proposing 40. But at the age of 40, are you still a youth? Why are you youth at 40? Who should be sitting on this desk now? When in the world we are seeing presidents who are aged 39 and 40, Macuda will want to just stay us, get young people who are grown, earn money, have families, married wives, give me Mimo at the meeting house to just sit down in the moment. Okay, so they will have the youth wing at the level of the branches and not national. If it's their choice, at their discretion. Are we not thinking that these youth, when they come together, they should be able to learn, share ideas, and contribute to the development? I think that at that level we can compel, but at branch level, and particularly like I look at my branch, today they are 20, tomorrow they are 10. They dream people today, they probably they go, they're OTN. And there's nobody, when we see that Macuda just go tell us that Macuda Boya is what you're going to do. In the same way when they have a hierarchy, that is our thinking, they will be able to abide. They will have the opportunity for mentorship and they will grow. But if you think differently, then yes, is that about the youth? Yes. The home branch and youth? All right.
Yes, Madam Chair, I think that since we are looking at the constitution of Macuda covering everybody, let us capture Macuda and the women's wing. But now we allow it at the level of the branches now to decide whether they are going to have a youth wing, they are going to have a women's wing or not. Because if we don't capture it in this constitution, the branches will say that there is nothing talking about the women in the constitution, so we cannot form a women's wing. There is nothing talking about the youth in the constitution, so we cannot, form form Macuda. So let's just capture it, because this constitution is supposed to be all encompassing. But we know that different branches have their peculiarities. Yes, they have their peculiarities, they have their specificities. So now those specificities now will now narrow at the level of the branches. But at the level of this constitution, let's capture it so that it should be that it is in the constitution. Thank you.
This one pass my power. Okay, I'm going to do a ruling on the issue of the youth wing, that every branch should make an effort to have a youth wing. Why? Because we are seeing the youth wing as a training ground for Macuda of tomorrow. In the meantime, Macuda is belonging to men and women. So I will not do a ruling on the women's wing. I will rather encourage that if branches see me fit, let them have their women's wing, but will not factor that. Maybe in 4 years' time, when we have seen how all those women wings are functioning, or women's groups, in Macuda Boya, we have our own women that are doing wonderfully well. So maybe when we start seeing how the function we will do it. But it will go down the records that Mankon, our cultural and development youths will exist in all branches, and they should function, and they will get together, share experiences, contribute to development. So that's the one that we're going to go with. And we are saying that it's each other people are 18. Can you picture a youth wing where somebody's 40 and somebody's 18? And everybody's looking at you up there, and when you talk, the people cannot say, no, you very much. Any trouble on page 5? Again? Yes.
I want to appeal that we should look at, let's look at please, I want to appeal that we should look at the caption of this, our chapter 3.
Chapter 3, yes.
Yes, ma'am. Chapter 3 says management structures, powers and functions. I want to appeal that if it's possible, we can put it at management structures, composition and functions. Because it contradicts with chapter 4. Turn to chapter 4. Chapter 4 talks about functions, which has already been captured in chapter 3. So if we capture it as management structures, composition and functions, we now go to Article 14, we talk about the structures. Article 15, composition. Article 16 now can be the functions. Because Article 15 has a conflict. You have powers, composition and functions under Article 15. Whereas we go to chapter 4 and we reintroduce functions in chapter 4 as a whole chapter.
Alright.
Yes,
in chapter 3 we have management structures, powers and functions. You are suggesting that we should put
management structures, composition and functions.
Composition and functions. And in that case, you have Article 14 that looks at structure, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Article 15 that looks at what?
Compositions of the various organs. But there is a mix-up because
15 it is more about the functions.
Here in the document, Article 15 has handled powers, composition and functions.
Alright.
Which is somehow, because in chapter 4 we have treated functions in chapter 4, which is not correct.
Okay, thank you. I will go with what you're saying, that I'm going to look at it. Your problem is not the content, but your problem is the structure, right? I'll ask the advice to look at that and then restructure. Yes. But the content is okay, so we'll go with the content, correct?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. That content, no, it's not structure. Any comment on page 6? Page 6. If no comment on page 6, I have a comment which I'd like us to know. Page 6, Article 21. Look at Article 22, sub 4. I'm just using this as an example because it's going to go through many others. The first vice shall act as interim general president in the event where the office of general president is vacant. No, I don't think that's what it is. But let me explain what the concept is, or the principle. The point was that we should be gender sensitive as much as possible. That in the event where we have two positions, we should make an effort while prioritizing meritocracy, performance. We should also look at gender balance. So we should make an effort that when you have two positions, or when you have a position with two persons, one should be of the opposite sex. Okay? So you should have the two of them there. I think that's one of the things that we're working on. So note. So you see it somewhere. So can we look at page 8? You have a comment on page 8.
I want to say that
yes.
After the comments of our brother, it seems we are now taking the speed that we are not the document we have lots of gaps.
All right.
Issues on page 4. Yes, there are issues on page 4. Yes, did we pass page 4?
Okay, do you have a comment on page 4? If you
do let us have it, but we had moved past that.
Yes, we have a comment on page.
Let us hear, please.
For the branches. So I think looking at the management, looking at the management structures, when at the home branch, when we were reviewing this document, we felt that the branch executive councils should also be, one of the management structures here, and their responsibilities also, like clearly defined vis-a-vis their functioning with General Macuda. Because if we don't really define all of that here, you realize that even though we may want to say that in the bylaws, everything is going to be established and how they'll be functioning, but I think here we need to capture them as one of the structures, because we think that when maybe elections are happening at the level of Macuda, the branch, delegates from the branches will have to participate at that level to actually vote. So if we don't have them as a management structure here, then I think that is an omission. So we are suggesting that we need to capture them as a management structure here, then we give them the acronym BESCO, Branch Executive Council, just like we have GESCO, which is the General Executive Council. Thank you.
Can we look at the chapter on the creation of branches? It should be chapter 6 on page 11. When we get there, we can explain more. But the idea is that under that chapter, we are talking about the creation of branches, who branches are, and talk about the executive. And we strongly said that we should not impose on branches who should be who and what so much they should be doing. That the branches should be able to define their tenure of office, for example, and that we proposed the structure of the branch executive. Somewhere you can find that. We proposed the structure that we should, or the composition. That's what I was saying.
Yes.
It is somewhere, I think we'll get there, we see who should be. So what is your problem? Are you saying that?
Yes, Madam Chair, you're very right. So what I'm saying here is that we need to propose them as a management structure, under the management structure here. Then when we go now to this chapter 6, we now define what they will be doing. We can now maybe define what they will be doing. But then, if we don't have them as a management structure here, remember that this is the constitution which is for everybody, for Macuda. So when the branch, maybe the branch now they pick up this document, they should be able to see that they also exist as a structure within the structures that we have outlined here.
Make a proposal, please.
Yes, so the proposal is that we need to have the branch executive council.
And that branch executive council, what does it do?
So the branch executive council, now we are going to now define their functions now in the chapter 6 we are talking about. Yes.
Okay, this document here, it's about the general Macuda, right?
Yes, it's about the general Macuda. But yes, so what I'm saying is that given that we have delegates from the branches who will always participate in elections in general, we need to also capture the branch executive council as one of the structures, just like inserting them here, so that we know that they are one of the management structures we have in Macuda. Then now, when we go now to the chapter 6 now, where you were referring me to, we now define their functions there, what they will be doing as the branches. That's what I'm suggesting.
I'll ask a very quick question.
Yes.
I'll ask a very quick question. Are we saying that we are going to get all the branches sit down and then vote another branch, a president and a vice president, and maybe somebody understands better, maybe I don't know. Because we know that we have captured these things in the creation of the branches and how the branches should function. Please, can we look at page, let's look at page 4, please. Look at page 4, so
14 sub 7 to sub 7. Okay, 14 says management structure, the General Assembly, the Quasi-General Assembly, the General Executive Council, the Board of Trustees, Standing Committees, the Mankon Cultural, the Mankon Youth, and then the chapters and branches. And then these chapters and branches, they are part of this management structure, right? So I'm asking you, you're going to give me that clarification.
Let me just find out something, because I think this was not very clear to us, because when we look, we really want to know what is the difference between a chapter and a branch. So if we can maybe establish that difference, then maybe we'll have clarity on what I'm trying to suggest, because
and I will say that I'm very not okay with Mankon branch when it comes to this constitution, because you seem to be asking the same questions that were addressed even the day before. Right? We're given this document, we have addressed some of these things, and you're going back to ask me now what's the difference between a chapter and the branch, meaning that you did not read this constitution.
we read the document so well. We read this document so well. So that's why I'm suggesting that, Madam. See, okay, Madam Chair, that's why I'm suggesting that instead of just saying the branches, let's say the branch. We are suggesting that we should have the branch executive council instead of just saying the branches, so that we can also give them that acronym BESCO, just like we have GESCO, which is a branch. Just like we have GESCO.
Thank you very much. Please. We are taking too much time dancing on the same spot. One of our brothers suggested something which I think we have to follow. There are the branch ESCOs that are here, that this document was sent to them before today. They are the people arguing more than those of us who are reading this document today. Which means that they took no interest in reading and to confirm with those that were managing the document. Please, I think if they have, or if some other branches, you have suggestions to make, the internal house is there. That internal house was there.
Alright, thank you very much, sir. I want to think that maybe they took up time to read, that's why they're able to make the comments. So let us go with them. Thank you. What we are asking them is that please, let us not press on things that we can find somehow inside this constitution, alright? Yes, we are talking about branch executive. Here in this constitution, we talk about branch executive, we talk about chapters. Let me quickly take the floor to say that for clarification, simply because I do not want us to leave this hall saying that they came and impose the constitution on us. It is clear that you have chapters and you have a branch. GESCO is General Macuda, the world branches from America to Cameroon to whichever country. A chapter is in the country, right, that has branches. Are we together? So, and this is particular in most of the countries of Europe that already existed as such, and we thought that it was better to align, right, and not create confusion. As long as they have chapters and they have branches within them and they are working well, then we should not create problems saying that they should create the branches. So you have a chapter with all those branches inside, okay? And then you also now have branches. Like in Cameroon, for example, we have different branches. And we are creating cells as well. A cell will be in a community where you don't have many people. You have less than 15 people. If you have up to 15 people, you can create a branch. But less than 15 people, you have a cell. And and that cell will be mentored by the GEXCO. Is that okay?
Cameroon is invited to an event at the United Nations. The president or a representative will go. They will say Cameroon is there. So at the level in terms of structure, it is the branch. When the branch starts now, branch have at its summit, that's BESCO, which is okay. No, at the level of structure. So BESCO is the beginning structure for the branch. But the branch is the end structure for Macuda General. So it is not recognizing the word BESCO. Every branch constitution, it is okay to refer to their executive, which is actually the interface. That is Macuda, it's not Macuda General at that point, it's Macuda GEXCO that is dealing with Macuda BESCO. But Macuda General Assembly is dealing with branches. So that those are the differences. We aspect of it's not cancel, but it's not necessarily defined as a structure of Macuda General. But Macuda General branches to BESCO. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I think I just did not understand them. We have put the idea of the EXCO and it works. Thank you so much. Can we do page 5? Is there any comment on page 5? I thought we passed that before. Are you looking on stage?
I'm sorry, I really want to talk about the article, but I think I still want to go back to what Brother Ben said. With what we are doing here today, it would have been pointless sending these documents the way it was sent to all the subgroups. The way we are doing this, permit me, home branch, it's like this document we put in all actually sit as an SO, as a meeting to discuss and come to a compromise before today. Because the way people are bringing ideas again, I am proposing that, of which all these proposals were supposed to go to this to the GEXCO earlier enough, so that we would have discussed yesterday when they had their final meeting before today. What we are doing here, we are penalizing these people who worked on these documents. That's what we are doing. And not only them, we are penalizing even those who travel to reach here this morning and are sitting here and still have to travel back.
Okay, thank you very much. Concerns their general meeting and ready, so everybody here should have understood. We do not know whether you had the committee, but whatever, I think I'm pleased with the fact that they are asking questions. It means that they have interest of this document at hand. Thank you. Page 8, any comments? Page 9, any comments? I don't just want no. Think about it very well. Check whether what you propose you have it inside. All right. Yep. Hello.
branch akwatine abo GEXCO la ka no tabe betana bo GEXCO la ka be no tutaba GEXCO lo na le suguna que so na ka branch wa azi constitution wa be singa branch to fa awatu nkin sara kwatita berketire amo GEXCO berka GEXCO lo ya kwatita. So we're going to change the General Assembly with that big competency branch at Tanamo GEXCO do like say nos are for you better get it right. If we beat them nos are the General Assembly girl because look quite that girl kabe kabe kwa ntawa kwa Tanamo GEXCO. So I'm going to find
Thank you. Let us move the comments. Focus, we are moving forward. Page 9, any comments? Any comments? Yes, please.
Good evening, House.
So,
I'm on Article 30, 31, sub 2.
Yes.
Which talks about the age of the youth. Age limit of the youth. I think with the youth, as per members have said this in this house a few minutes ago, they are people who have learned craft work, but not students and wish to have their own way by the Macuda. If we start saying we are giving them an age limit of 18 to 30, I don't think we are seeing that we will have a youth wing functioning in Macuda. Reasons being that at this age of 18 to 30, most of them are students. Most of them are students. Secondly, some are apprentices. They have not been able to learn a job or a trade and be master in, be able to help themselves in the financial obligations that they would want to find themselves in. So I am suggesting that and pleading that we be extended to age 40. Thank us.
I would like this issue of age put to rest. Yes. We did not just work for nothing. We took the UN definition of youth and it tells us that it's 18 to 25 and left the provisions for countries to add to this definition. And we as Macuda will say we would extend our own to 30. That's what we have done in our proposal to you. Our comment we gave up and actually we shared it is that the Cameroonian context of a youth can so fully that in as much as call ourselves youth. A youth is by nature a dependent person. And we believe that a man at 35 is dependent. So living his father's house, married.
Yes, let's see another youth talk. Yes,
I'm called Atanga Chair from Boya.
We cannot hear you, sir.
I'm called Atanga Chair from Boya. In that case, if I want to go word what our last speaker said, is thereby dissolving the youth wing of Boya. Because about 80% of us, we are above 80. We are suggesting that it's better we leave it at the branch level to decide the
Good afternoon, everyone again. I think it's true, as we walk along, we may still see issues of youth coming up. But I think what we said a while ago is that the issue of youth should be left at the level of the branches. And I want to still come back. Maybe we did not get it well. Sincerely speaking, we have said to be member of Macuda 18 and above, and to step on at 18 and above you have those financial obligations, engagements that you assume, which means that if we have a smart youth at 20, he's got a first degree, he's having a job, and feels he wants to step on as a member of Macuda, pay his dues and take active part, I don't see for what reasons we would choose to be naming him a youth. If he wants to vow for the post of national president here, you will not say he's a youth. So we are wasting time in this whole story of youth here.
Belong to any of those groups, you belong to Macuda. And sitting here, I can tell you that the representatives are here. For us to get people to come to this meeting, and for inclusivity's sake, what we normally just do is that Macuda has asked us to send 10 persons. As well, send us 1 person. Inka, send us 2 people. Akwate, send us this number. And then we want to choose them. And like that, every subgroup, as we call them, they have a sense of belonging. So that is how we do it. Please, it's a model that is working. You might as well use it. But again, like we say, youths grow up and come and take responsibility. Don't be a youth at 70, don't be a youth at 30. Alright, thank you very much. We were on page 11. Anything there? Anything different from what you suggested? Because we have tried as much as possible to fix the things. It's there, right? On page 12. Sources of finances, we have also upgraded that, recognizing the fact that we have funding bodies around, so we have added. And about dues and levies, we have also indicated that you're going to see them in the bylaws. We are indicating that yes, there are going to be different levies, but those levies, the procedure for contribution and the how much is now seen in the bylaws. And about our bank accounts, we have also indicated that the GESCO should have a bank account so that our money is not flying in any hands. I think so far they do have bank accounts, and we should, as much as possible, make use of those bank accounts when the time for contributions come. Page 13 talks about elections. I think, if no comments, I will be saying that this is where we are talking about the different delegates that should be present during elections. We are stating that there's an election committee, and that committee must be elected by the General Assembly, and therefore it's going to be the General Assembly of the one preceding an elected General Assembly. So if we're going to have elections next year, it means that in this year's General Assembly, we elect the members of the elections committee so that they can set into work. So those are some of the things I would like you to know there. There was something that we said, I would like us, also was a point of contention for us when we discussed in Article 52. There were comments, there was an educational level that was set for you to be an aspirant for certain positions. The comments that came said that we should understand that it is not book that makes somebody a good leader. So it is important to open it. But then in the event of elections, we should be conscious about who is standing in elections and knowing that that person can adequately represent us and articulate in such ways that reflects who Macuda should be. Initially, we had said that you should have at least a first degree or its equivalent for you to be a member, to be a president or social or secretary. At the moment, we opened it and we said that it is open, and the people should be at least literate, adequately literate, high moral standing with the experience that we expect. So we are leaving that open, but however, we are cautioning us that please, don't just elect somebody because Mama Kuma has come here and given you sardine and maggi and pepper to come and vote me, knowing that I cannot represent you. We should remember that Macuda should be a strong organization, a force to reckon with, so that our leadership should be such that attracts and calls respect and demands respect and can really generate the kind of results that we are looking at. Is that good? So that's what I wanted us to see, that these were some of the comments that came that I thought that we should look at. Okay, that goes again, as we have elections, we can try to make sure that installation takes place. We can do the planting of the installation even after. But then whoever comes and does the installation, they should let the people know that they can have the power to start acting, right? And then we can do our part and we can begin to think how we can fund that activity at that time. But we should not elect an ESCO and then wait to come and install the ESCO, wind it down the line, and then we are not moving. So I think those were some of the things about the elections that we thought. I want us to look at Article 54, Sub 2. It says, after the installation of the elected executive, the former executive has a maximum period of 30 days to hand over all association documents, assets, and liabilities. Please, we don't do elections and then we say that we're going to bring the books and then we're waiting 1 year down the line, they have not come. So we're giving 30 days, meaning that before election comes, you should be preparing your documentation, handing over notes. So once you are elected or re-elected or not elected, we should have those handing over notes available. So 30 days is good enough time that we think we should do so. Some other thing that could be important to check is on Article 52. Aspiring candidates for elections must submit to the elections committee their complete file. That file, the content is seen in the bylaws. And also, for the post of president, we are going to give you a chance to be able to talk to the public so that we can hear you talk and we can know. And at least hear our to-be president talk to us, so it is important. So that said, I think those were some key things on page 13. Another key thing on page 4, on page 14 rather, it's on discipline. In due time, we advise that when we use this document, in the future we maybe try to change and maybe start looking at conflict management. But for the meantime, that's not something here. However, we say that for conflicts, if there are, the advisory board, there's a litigation committee, there's an advisory board, they can solve those problems. And JEXCO will strive to resolve conflicts at the level of chapters and branches where they are able to resolve the supervised. And the bylaws are today adopted, and all of us, we say yes. I'll still ask somebody to count for me so that we'll write. Just write. Just count the number. You know that, just give me the number, we'll write it down. That's it. Let us hear from So the Constitutional Committee or the Constitution Review Committee, on their behalf, I'm thanking you all for having been there with us to go through this exercise. We really do appreciate it. And we again say that we're humbled that we had the opportunity to do this. We did it happily. We did it happily, and our hope and wish is that Macuda will use them and that will go to higher heights. That Macuda can only grow from today. Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President, running the meeting. Thank you so much.
I think before the Vice President, please, I think we should give a standing ovation to this committee. Thank you.
le sakna bu faze ba mu ne sigan se fa bu na mu bu ci fo de da ya nu mu we mo ne be ba ci zo ci bu fa la na ma ne mo so mo to ngu ala fa ko bi yenda no ne bu de ne tu wa ni tu la mu ko so ko nggak bisa nggak keliru untuk benar-benar azam. Dia anggap dengan adopter revised constitution, body revised bylaws. Aci dia lama, aci dia mufa. Mak ansap menjadi antifa, jangan cari. Apa azam dulu kita langsung bina, apa azam kami bina lagi. Bukan dia bina formula musuh komputer, maknanya sampai maknanya dia bina nyok. Ambil mas, masuk lagi. Masuk lagi branches, apa itu adalah awak ada critical committees, specialized committees. Abang berbina tu kuikan berbina fazil, ibu mau berbina tangan. Dan kemudian pada amat ni cinu, jadi nanti sada berproposal. Ini memang apa ini macam mana komiti ini. Komiti macam ni artikel 33. Bukan komiti ini very important. Ada fakta zaman. Bahan just bahan Macuda itu kan ada konstitusi spesialis dan teknikal. So apa pun kita kena approve tu fase ini anu ni dalam ni kuasa ini. So yes, as of that zaman mungkin anu membership cards.
To do for how we should move for this year, and part 3, just an indicative budget. All the figures there are indicative, but what is more important is what we think we should do. For the realization, since JESCO was put in place, this revision of the constitution and bylaws has been very primordial, for which we are here today for this extraordinary General Assembly meeting. JESCO has been holding coordination meetings and also liaising with branches for different activities as need be. JESCO has produced Macuda cards that we have here, and also JESCO is in deep contact and communication with the fund, demanding for land in Mankon urban, where we think they should construct a Macuda complex, Macuda center. So these are some of the things that have taken place and are going on. For what we plan to do for 2025, we share it. Page 2. Page 2, action number 1, we think they adopt and revise constitution and bylaws and promote their use. So for this year already, this meeting, we have achieved the adoption of the bylaws, the constitution and the bylaws. Now what we'll do, we'll have to take this constitution and bylaw to the administration for signature. That is the procedure. Each time you change your constitution, the administration has to sign it. Then following, we need to distribute the constitution and bylaws and follow up to see that branches adopt their bylaws and or constitution to conform with the revision, what we have done today. Action point number 2 is create a coordination secretariat for Macuda in Mankon. So we are thinking of to identify and negotiate and pay for the space, to rehabilitate and equip the space for functioning, recruit and orientate an administrative assistant, and provide basic material for functioning of the office. Point number 3 is to hold annual General Assembly meetings and coordination meetings at the level of JESCO and branch level.
Some of them and nous sommes pas là, c'est pas que nous bien ok. Tanga bien na check
mutual respect. Tangan mo la gay ni. Ate gay na ni munsuma no buwa. Munsuma no buwa la zawang gay. Malun so mo man again. Adi abang ke abgana. Te abang ko te na ninja. La na mo jute hatta dokunten dam ci fa ko mo mo ba ay na lo na de Dieu ba lo be de ko la ci de Dieu so jute la ba mo ga ba ko mo na mo na ga ma ga ci ko ba ko sa na mo ba de ba sa fa so de mo na so ga de mo je be te to ni an nous a ba ay de de tu fais peut-être que des mots que le câble va de dans le peut-être le petit câble de la fa qui est bon donc il faut que faire la quête et donc tu tiens ba ne ta donc je a dit un gros projet ba il était là car câble qui est différent qui est différent ama qui est différent de câble ça de colonne mais c'est aninga abrina forme ñom ma projet de chez i exé projet war i jangé i coste wala ka physique stories ma cho projet war bon nga di mbobi té bitin ben camarade bu ok que ata mo wa mo tuma je nous avons nana voilà et je ça avons nana gare que tu nous ka ba ba mo sa den azu za mo mo ba ga akiko ti go no sa na no za ati ta ko je ku shi ma ko ma ki bu okay ke be ko daga za ko automatically a guarantee transparency because no ma ti na la no avec le petit na ko so na ji de ak be la ni ba ti ni de la na la ni ka ki par exemple za ko za very easy ak be guarantee accountability boke be go check de la ba be gini nin ka za ba bu kwa ko be abi ize bo ci che za ta ni je za ba ci ni de en kin ji ka mo so bon ga bu na fo ñom ñu cher na no na za wen bon te bi ka bo be ci la ba go de la no se fonction so te ni le minimum juice des fonctions. Le minimum du nom que quoi tenir que flexibilité sur le projet de mais vous n'avez l'homme faut voir le juice pas bitne grebe flexibilité sur le chine quand on projet chine dire pour le projet pas vous n'avez point de force vous au but de vous dans le cadre de bon que nous allons nous avoir en état à clarification c'est pourquoi un bon que vous êtes il aura vous savez la carte so que nous bokk ko ka de man mo ci ka ka so que nous avons de
Bogete 2004 ndemo binani number 1 wange konye number 2000 achembo bamenda lobi and then ozonto omuze and so the chief ball et il faut faire atteindre la phase de officially motos est bien agna wa mi ko ko tekki zumza tan mo do ko to atteindre na wa to atteindre zen mo ngi na je ka bu die ba mo yen yen ti kam kwanta nga bëgg na agna ti la ko bité bëgg na nous sommes ñu bind feu na ñu sa ani to et toi so for us donc même nous allons ici vous n'avez pas que tu d'accord mais tu fais minimum mon magami ya ou quand magami ya on ben pas tu baga ala kara ani fuzawa bo so ani chambre akuna loza tu ne sais pas na china fa arana magami ya